Hey guys, Saki here with another episode of Let's Build Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're making our way from the Yard of Bricks down to turn one, which will be in that direction there. And we've got some wildlife in the middle, but let's go up to 200 speed and get this done. So, in NASCAR news, old Tony Stewart ended up crashing a sprint car and ended up breaking his tibia and fibula, which is incredibly painful. I couldn't imagine like having my leg like broken in half like that, but definitely sad to see him out of a car. And I mean, it's the first race of his career that he's going to miss at the Glen, and it's sad because I have a soft spot for all the drivers who've raced against Dale like back in 2000 in that era, and not too many of those drivers left. Let's see, Junior was there, Kenseth was there, Gordon obviously, the Labanis, but Terry don't race too much, so Bobby, um, and probably a bunch of others I'm forgetting, but it's crazy to think like in the era of the Bushes, and oh yeah, Kurt Busch raced against him once, but in the era of the Bushes and Jimmy Johnson and like Denny Hamlin and all the people that have came aboard, I mean, it's crazy. Like in the last 6 or 7 years, that they still haven't raced against Dale, and it's kind of eye-opening to see that I'm getting old and the sport's changing and getting older as well, and already been through 3 iterations of the car as far as like the two COTs and then the new Gen 6, but it's it's let me get this on Dawn real quick so we can actually see what we're doing. There we go. It'll be it'll be sad to see like Tony not in his car this week. I'm sure he'll be, well, he may be at the track. They're saying a second surgery is needed, which has to suck. Probably resets all the bones and the tissue and all that stuff to get him where he's good to go. Oh, zombie burning in the background. But I'm hoping Max Pappas can run good. I mean, after slapping a guy at Road America, I mean, he's a likable guy, don't get me wrong, but and I'm sure he's done like amazing things in open wheels, but stock cars and closed fender vehicles. Well, I won't say closed fender vehicles because he won 24 hour. I know Watkins Glen is always an interesting race, um, for the sheer fact that it's different, and surprisingly, like the Cup guys are getting really good at road races. So I'm looking forward to the race. Coming off of a fifth for Junior at Pocono last week, he's going in with a good mental base, and that's what you need sometimes. And never helps to have Steve Letarte on the pit box, like just making the best out of every terrible situation. And I was listening to the Dirty Mo podcast a couple days ago, and they were saying how the vibration, like creeper vibration, never went away. And it's crazy, like what was vibrating. And they asked him, "Have you ever had a car?" Well, they asked Steve Letarte, "Have you ever had a car that had a vibration at the start of practice and it just did not go away?" And he said, "Once with Jeff Gordon." It's crazy, like you could change out all the parts and still have a vibration. Maybe that'd be something if like the seat wasn't bolted down properly or whatnot. But I doubt it would be something that simple. That get out of here, zombies. I don't need you interfering with my build. Yes, burn, baby, burn. An angry zombie too. But it's crazy to. I wouldn't think that they would miss something just as simple as that. But definitely well wishes for Tony. I can't wait to see him back in a car. I mean, the dude's the only driver to win Winston Cup, Nextel Cup, and now Sprint Cup. So I mean, he's a racer, and I support his decision to go out and race sprint cars. And I mean, he's the owner of his team, so he don't have to worry about Joe Gibbs like throttling back. I could see Joe Gibbs' point too. He's protecting his product, the product of his drivers. But Tony is his product, so he can do whatever he wants. And I mean, he's a racer through and through, and can respect that for sure. And Tony's no idiot. He knows the risk, and he knew that could happen. And I don't think they'll change his outlook. He'll get back in the sprint car probably as soon as he can. Definitely in the cup car as soon as he can. But a definite speedy recovery. Um, Hoping by Homestead or Phoenix he can like get out there, run some laps, see if he's comfortable, and then spend the off season building his strength back up and be ready for preseason testing at Daytona. But that's enough about me rambling on NASCAR news. As the usual practice, here's the final 2 minutes of the build with super speedy building music. So enjoy, and I will see you then. All right, the front stretch is done, ladies and gentlemen. I've I engaged fly mode here, and I'm just seeing how long it takes me to fly from turn 1 to turn 4. And I calculated out roughly. I'm not a math guy by any stretch of the imagination. That's why these mega builds are tough for me when I'm emulating like a perfect replica. But if I'm flying at 10 meters a second, that is 0.005 and some odd number miles per second. So take that times 60 to get minutes and take that times 60 again to get miles per hour. This is floating at 20 miles an hour, which is a snail's pace on that long front straightaway. And I didn't actually figure out, 2.5 mile track, at 20 miles an hour, how long it would take me to fly around. But 20 miles an hour, half road pit speed, I mean, this feels pretty accurate. I'll know better once I can get walls up and grandstands and other like visual cues to see how fast I'm truly moving instead of the trees. That's a bad thing about flatlands. You have no real basis of comparison as far as where you're moving. But let's clear off some of this foliage hanging over the front stretch. And next time, we will either do the short shoot or the turn, depending on the math I can figure out as far as angles and curves, or do I just want to lay the four corners. So we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.